Hi everyone, I'm Shelly and you're watching There's No Place Like Home. So we're finishing up this homeschooling year and we're getting ready to take a 6-week break for us to start up the new year in July. And I've been getting everything planned out, so I thought that I would share with you our plan and our curriculum for what I'm going to call our seasonal homeschool. About a month ago, maybe, I shared with you an idea that I had read that was from Julie Bogert from Brave Writer, and she was talking about seasonal homeschooling and the idea that your homeschooling style changes as the seasons change. And this was something that really resonated with me because even though our homeschooling style really does work for us, I've noticed that as the weather gets warmer, since I have such outdoorsy kids, they get very antsy and they just want to be outside all the time. And being outside is such a huge learning experience that I don't want to deprive them of that. And so I've noticed that we do tend to naturally shift to less book work during the warmer months and more outside time. And so this seasonal homeschooling idea really fits right in with it. So I'm actually going to plan out our next year with that seasonal homeschooling aspect in mind. So I will still be homeschooling 7 kids next year. Now I will have a senior next year, and I'm still going to be using my grouping method, where if you haven't been here before, sometimes it really helps to group your kids if you have a lot of children that you are homeschooling at one time. So rather than doing them either individually or all together, sometimes it's easier to group them together. And so that's what I do. So I will be having 2 groups again, like I did this year. I will be having a middles group and what I'm calling the teen group. So the middles group for next year will include my daughter, who would be considered 3rd grade, and then there would be one that is 5th grade, 6th grade, and 8th grade. So that would be my middles group. And then my teen group would be 9th grade because Bailey is going to be moving up to the teen group for next year. So he'll be 9th grade. And then London will be in 10th grade. And then my oldest, who is still being homeschooled, not my oldest child, but my oldest homeschooled child, she will be entering her senior year, as I mentioned. Now I have to say that I don't really go by grade levels. The only reason that I refer to them by grade levels is just because that's where they would be if they were in school. And for a lot of people, it helps them to understand better. But I don't use graded curriculum. Now, a lot of times for their math and everything, it does come up that way, but that's not something that really matters to me because besides being a new seasonal homeschooler, I am also a relaxed homeschooler, and I will be starting up, the new homeschool year will be our 13th year of homeschooling. So the most kids that I ever homeschooled at one time was 10. I homeschooled 10 of my 11 kids at one time, and we've gradually worked our way down, and we are now down to 7. We were this year, and we will be next year too. So let's start out with the plan. I mentioned that we will be starting up our new homeschool year in July. That is because we do what I call a Sabbath schedule, and it's not just what I call it. I didn't make it up. That's just what this schedule is called. We homeschool for 6 weeks and then we take a 1-week break. Homeschool for 6 weeks and then we take a 1-week break. And then we also add in a 6-week break from Thanksgiving through New Year's Day. And then we take another 6-week break over the spring and summer. And it adds up to be 36 weeks out of the year, which is 180 days, which is what we are supposed to be homeschooling for due to our Pennsylvania laws. So my plans are that when we start up on July 12th, we are going to be doing what I'm going to call almost unschooling. That's what that season of our homeschool is going to be. We're going to be doing almost unschooling for the first 6 weeks and the last 6 weeks. So when we start up and then right before we're finished up from April 18th to May 27th of next year, they are going to be doing almost unschooling again. So what almost unschooling is going to look like, I'm thinking, now remember, my plans are always tentative. If things don't work out the way that I'm thinking they will, I have no issue with changing them up. And then if I do change them up, I always share with you if I change them up. But this is what I have in mind, and I'm actually really excited about trying it. So for our almost unschooling, for the 2 6-week periods, so for a total of 12 weeks, we will be doing Bible. We will be doing, with my middles, I will be doing a read aloud with them. And then my teens, I'm going to give them a choice of what they want, because my teens, I don't really do a read aloud for that period of time. I do read aloud with them, but that'll be later on that I'll discuss that. But I'm going to let them choose. I'm thinking right now that they might want to do some sort of foreign language. And then they're going to do, well, my middles will be doing Times Tales. I'll be showing you all the curriculum soon. We'll be doing Times Tales or some other math drills if they finish that. I haven't really found a math drills book yet for my teenagers. I was thinking of maybe looking at some fun schooling math books and seeing if they have any for that age, and that isn't so much for younger kids. So we'll see. So then our next 2 6-week periods, so from August 30th to October 8th, and then again from October 18th to November 19th, we will be doing what is called foundational homeschooling. And foundational homeschooling is going to be Bible and read aloud. And again, that's just for the middles. The older kids, the teens, might be doing foreign language during that time. I will be doing spelling with my middles, and my teens will be doing copywork, and then silent reading, and language arts, and math. So instead of just math drills, so during the almost unschooling period, my kids will be doing math, but they will be doing it through a more, a less formal, just math drills workbook. But during the foundational period, they will be doing their typical math curriculum. And then for the other 2 6-week periods from January 3rd, so this is after New Year's, from January 3rd to February 11th, and then from February 21st to April 8th, they will be doing what I'm calling unit studies, but it's actually only my middles that I'll be doing unit studies with during this period. My teens will be doing something different, but I'll explain that to you. So for my middles, we will be doing during this period Bible, and then read aloud, of course. They will be doing cursive, 2 unit study activities, and then their math curriculum. My teens will look very similar. They'll be doing Bible, and they will be doing maybe foreign language. Again, I'm going to give them a choice and see if there's something that they want to put in there. I'm going to have them do cursive too, because they really do need to brush up on it, and I think that it's important that everyone knows how to read and write in cursive. Then they are going to be doing their science and history. They're going to alternate days with that, and then they are also going to do their formal math. So now let's get into the curriculum that I'm going to be using. And as a relaxed homeschooler, you are not going to see a whole lot of textbooks here. You're not going to see what you would typically see in a school, to be quite honest. So for Bible, what we've been using for a while now is the 1-minute student Bible. And in this Bible, it usually shares either a passage or passages, and then there is a devotion or something for you to read over with your kids, and then we discuss it, and then we all pray together. So that is what we're going to be using. Now there might come a time that we finish this and I will move on to something else, but as of right now, we've still got some time left here, so I haven't needed to pick anything new up. For our math drills for during our almost unschooling period, I got this for my 8-year-old. It's Fun Schooling Math Mysteries and Practice Problems with Minecraft. And actually, I will tell you that I'm pretty sure that I have reviews for almost all of these books, and I will link them in the description box. But this is for my 8-year-old. It's Fun Schooling Math Mysteries and Practice Problems with Minecraft. Now my other middles kids have been they just started this, so they'll probably continue this for a while, the Times Tales workbook. And once they finish this, I'm just going to have them also continue in their Fun Schooling Math for Minecrafters. It's a little bit different than my 8-year-olds, but this one is also a Fun Schooling, a Thinking Tree Journal book. Now they have also been working in this, but I had them put this aside for now so that they could start Times Tables, because I really want them to brush up on their Times Tables. So once they finish Times Tables, they're going to go back to this again for their drills. Now, once we move on, and that's actually the only books that they will be using for our almost unschooling period. Now, when we move on to the foundational period of our seasonal homeschool, for spelling for my middles, I am going to be using, and I've used this for years, that's why it looks this way, Natural Speller. I do not use the activities that are in it. I just use the lists. So as you can see, I have lines. I don't know if you can see. This new lighting that I got is great, but it's really hard to see stuff like writing. I'll have to figure that out. But anyway, there's lists and there's also activities. I don't use the activities though. I just use the lists that are in Natural Speller. For the copy work for my teenagers, because they won't be doing spelling, they'll be doing copy work. I'm thinking of just doing famous quotes for them to do. They've been doing Shel Silverstein, but I think that we're going to move on. I'm going to have them do famous quotes for their copy work for next year. For language arts for my teens, they will be using the Life of Fred language arts set. There are 4 of them. 4 books, and I only have them do 1 book each year. I know that you can have them do all 4 books in 1 year, but we only do 1 book per year. So they're going to be using the, again, Life of Fred language arts. My middles are going to continue in their Harcourt language arts books. That's what we've been using this year, and we really like it. So they're going to continue using that for next year. Now for Cursive, and actually, oh, sorry. For their math curriculum, I didn't have it like right in front of me because it's not a book, it's a website. My kids are using CTC Math. All of my kids use CTC Math for their math. Now, when we move on to the next period, which is what I'm calling the unit study period, for Cursive for my middles, they're going to be using classic children's literature. It's classic copywork, Cursive. I just did a review of this one, or a flip through really. Not really a review because I haven't used it yet. And then my teens are going to continue in this cursive handwriting practice, Declaration of Independence, United States Constitution, and Bill of Rights. Now for Kenzie, my 8-year-old, I have not picked up a cursive book for her yet. She has never done cursive yet. And so if anyone has any suggestions on a good one to start her off in, because as you can see with the one that my other middles will be using, maybe you can see this lighting. I have to figure this out. But it doesn't really have how to form the letters. It doesn't start out with the letters or anything. It goes right in the copywork. And I need something for beginners for her. So if anyone has a suggestion on a good starting cursive workbook, let me know. And I prefer that it has it in both printing and cursive so that she can read what she's writing. Okay, now for my teens, for their history and science, this is always something that we kind of change it up a lot because I have not found something that they have absolutely loved yet. I've not found any sort of method, no sort of book that has really helped them to love these subjects. And I want them to love these subjects. So what we're going to try is we are going to use, I have a bunch of the politically incorrect guides. And so we're going to start out the politically incorrect guide to the Constitution, put the Constitution back in constitutional law. So we're going to start out, and I am actually going to do this as a read aloud with them. Remember how I was telling you that I'll still be doing some sort of read aloud with my teens? Yes, this will be it. I will be reading aloud to them these books because that way we can discuss it afterwards. And also because I really want to read them too. After we finish with the Constitution, then we are going to move on. I think the next one we're going to do is the Politically Incorrect Guide to Socialism is going to be the next one that we do. I have others, but as of right now, I'm just planning on those 2. We're going to, like I said, alternate. One day do history, one day do science. One day do history, one day do science. We're going to be doing the Politically Incorrect Guide to Science and the Politically Incorrect Guide to Darwinism and Intelligent Design. And so as you can see, yeah, this isn't, it's probably going to be very different from what you see a lot of other homeschooling parents do. But I am so far beyond the point of homeschooling certain subjects just because you feel like you're supposed to. Because I think there's so much time wasted teaching your kids things just because you think that they need to do it, but they never actually use it in the future. So I want to give my kids something that not only will they enjoy, but that they will actually be able to use. I've already graduated 3 homeschoolers. My oldest son graduated from public school, but I've graduated three homeschool students, and I'm telling you that they've never really needed this upper level stuff that we always think that we have to teach our kids. So if one of my kids decides that they want to go to college, which honestly, I don't even push anymore because I see what's going on at the colleges. If they decide that they want to go, then yes, then we can add in something that they're going to need for it. But at this point in time, yes, I'm all about practicality and teaching my kids things that are actually going to be useful. Anyway, now that aside is over, so for the unit studies for my middles, we're going to be using Kona's curriculum, volume 3. I just did a flip through of this one also, and I explained a little bit how I use it, so that might be helpful for you. We will just usually do about 2 activities out of here. Here, let me just show you really quickly. But again, with this lighting, I might not be able to. They give you a bunch of activities for different topics, and we usually pick 2. And we do 2 activities per day for the unit study. And then for the read aloud for my middles, we've been working our way through the Little House series. So I think we're going to continue that. And also what we've been doing is whenever we finish a Little House book, in between there, we will read a Tuttle Twins book together also, because I think those are great, not just for younger kids, but for older kids to read as well. So anyway, that's all that I have for you today. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet and would like to hear more of what I have to say, I would love if you would do that. If you have any questions or comments, you can leave one either here or over on Instagram. And if you like my work and would like to check out my Patreon page, I will leave a link in the description box for that as well. And I hope you have a great day.